It's your boy Fawness on Social Climate. Yeah, today we're going to do a breakdown on the movie The Color Purple, and this is Suturi, and basically it's has presentations for the classroom in a unique timeline format where teachers and students can create a variety of projects, assignments, and portfolios. So I went on here and it has a 10-point breakdown of like 10 main parts of the movie The Color Purple on the timeline. And basically, um, start off the first part. Before jump into it, though, I kind of want to point out Color Purple is a very transcendent movie. A movie goes very, very deep into breaking down abuse and a lot of dynamics that were being faced, in the South and the poor community where minorities were that you don't normally get to see, you know. And so it gets real deep in there and talking about a lot of the struggles, especially from a female perspective on what they go through with childbearing and struggling to find a good mate or kind of being controlled in relationships and different things like that, and the struggle to find a good life during that time period. And so the movie was a great movie. First time I saw it, I was young, 6 or 7 or something like that. I don't know how, something like that. But the movie was wild. I might have been like 9 or 10 though. The movie was wild. Basically, I was a little too young. I don't know why my parents let me see it. They heard about it. It was like everybody was talking about it, and so man, they went and it was might have been like a New Year's Eve party, and everybody was chilling, and they had this Color Purple on, and the scenes were so graphic, man. Oh my goodness, Danny Glover. You're a wild man. You played that movie, man. You played that role so crazy. I wanted you to get hurt. I wanted something to happen to you. When she had that razor shaving you, I wanted her to like cut him, just cut him, Celie, or something or whatever. But so yeah, that movie was wild, man. And throughout the movie, though, man, it just was like I just wondered why he was so mean. What his issue was. Like, he just couldn't get over. Like he couldn't see any good or anything in his heart to actually really love or care for her, even though she was his wife. And I just was I couldn't understand the movie, because my parents love each other. I seen love in the household, but they argue, but they always make up, and they fight. My mom, she speaks her mind, don't get it twisted. But my parents always were able to communicate and showed love to each other. But just the cold hearted nature of the character in the movie. I'm not sure if it was intended for that character to be portrayed like that, or that's just how he took on the role. But obviously, so seeing the graphicness of what the character was doing to her. So, but let's jump into this. But man, and all saying though, man, it just kind of made me think like, is that what men are, and all that kind of stuff. And so I could definitely feel any woman being afraid, or any of that kind of a man like that would have that kind of behavior. But all throughout the movie, all the different male characters, none of them really were really good male characters. So young male watching that movie, there wasn't one male character that was positive that you could cling on to like, oh, you know what? Okay, he's doing the right thing, or that's what I could be doing, or if in those times that's what I may be wanting to behave like or be like him, or whatever. So just very interesting. So as we go through, you may see what I'm talking about. All right, so scene one. Okay, after Celia's father, okay, Alfonso raped her, she gave birth to a girl. Obviously, not a good man. Okay, he raped her. Okay, her father stole the baby. Oh, damn, then stole the baby. The second time Celie was impregnated by her father, she gave birth to a boy. Okay, Alfonso also stole that boy. Celie believes that both of her children are dead. All right, Mr. Blank. Okay, his name's not in here. I think that's the Danny Glover character. All right. So he's asked for Nettie's hand in marriage. Alfonso refuses that. Okay, so he's like, nah, you can't have her. Very, very choosing between his daughters, because the next line it says, but said that he could have Celie. So obviously they're saying that men just only value beauty, I guess, because I guess his other sister was supposed to look better than Celie. So he's like, you could just have her. You know, she's nothing to him, and so that's very, very, very horrible for a guy to think like that. Wow. So, Mr. Blank, I guess it's Danny Glover, later decided to marry Celie. Okay, Nettie decided to stay with Celie and Mr. Glover. We'll just say Danny. Danny. To get away from her father's abuse. Later, Nettie was kicked out by Danny Glover with nowhere else to go. So she gave the ugly one, because of the abuse of the dad, the other one had to end up moving in with him. He was trying to get with her. I remember in the movie, he really wanted her. All right, so, but she wasn't with it. So he kicked her out. All right. Uh, another bad guy. Okay. Then Mr. Glover's son, I guess that's Danny Harpo, right? Got married to a woman called Sophia, right? This is Oprah's character. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now Mr. Glover took in this lady named Shug, a lover of his, into his home with a wife in the home. He takes another woman in. Shug was at first rude to Celie, but later warmed up, and her and Celie continued to take care of each other. Okay, Sophia, tired of Harpo trying to control her, moved to her sister's house, taking their children. After Sophia left, he opened a junk joint or whatever. I guess a junkyard type of thing. But Harpo, what about Harpo's character? He was soft as what? Harpo? She had to defend the family. He was not with any type of nothing. He wasn't on no grind as far as being a man and being able to protect his family. That male character was all right. Sophia moved on from Harpo. So scene 7, Celie told Shug about how she assumed that her sister Nettie was dead because she never wrote back letters to her. Shug pointed out to Celie how she had noticed tons of letters in the trunk of Danny Glover's car. After they put the letters together in order, they both read letters together, and Celie began writing her sister Nettie again instead of writing to God, because she had been writing to God. She felt she had somebody to come through. So in her marriage, the man is there, she's there. She's not able to get with Danny Glover because he's such a horrible person. She's writing to God, save her from this man. So that's the dynamic that's there. He's not able to, be a man in her, and he's not able to have good in him to be able to reach out to God, to be enlightened on how to, be a man in his household. So that's that dynamic right there. So interesting. Now, moving on from that. Okay. This revealed that Samuel and Connie's children were actually Celie's children. It was revealed that this was so, actually. Okay. They were with Nettie, alive and well. Celie and Shug moved to Tennessee together. Celie ended up opening her own clothing shop and hired Sophia to work there. So I guess Sophia left Harpo, or I don't remember how that went. But Harpo just really was a soft man. Let's just leave it at that. But finally, Nettie came home, bringing Celie's 2 children. Celie finally got the respect she deserved from the Glover character. But ultimately, we never really see the Glover. He just kind of fades off. He never really reconciles for his behavior, or shows that his character has moved on to maybe possibly be a better person. So that movie definitely was a movie that hit home, with a lot of people who have been like molested, mistreated, a lot of ladies, and people who've gone through that. So we apologize for anyone who's had to go through that and suffer that kind of trauma. I don't want to try to undermine that at all. There's no way. It's inconceivable that someone should do that to another human being. So I want to state that first and foremost. So anybody who's gone through that, this is in no way any type of video saying that any of those kind of actions are something that should be done. I just wish that it would have been able to maybe put a few more male characters that had some class, that knew how to treat a woman, that showed that they wanted to do the right thing for the family, so that at the end of the day, the messaging that's coming through on the back end is for a positive family and the unity between the male and the female and the Godhead. So just wanted to break that down. That's The Color Purple, movie that I always thought about. It kind of bothered me in a certain kind of way, even though it's a great, outstanding movie with some great performances in it. So let me know what you think about this. Drop some comments if I missed something, because there's probably a lot went on. Maybe I didn't get something right, but I apologize for that. But get down, give me some comments, and we can rap about that. All right, peace. One, found that social climate.